Welcome back to the channel, Panda Pals. I hope you all are having a great day and ready for me to ruin it for you. That's right, we are talking The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 8. In this episode, we see Pattiya and Dylan, Manon and Anthony, Chloe and Jonny, and Greta and Matt. Unsurprisingly, everybody is doing terribly, and 80% of the time, the women are the problem. So buckle up and let your friendly panda tell you all about it. Let's check in with Pattiya and Dylan.
Welcome to Australia.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, babe.
Pattiya arrives at her new house that Dylan bought and renovated just for her.
I recently renovated this one for Pattiya and I to live in. I know it's not a ring, but it's a house. That's got to count for something, right?
He tells us that the two of them live completely different lifestyles. On one hand, you have Pattiya. She loves luxury and shopping. She's messy and wild. And on the other hand, you have Dylan, who is simple, very organized, and lives an incredibly regimented life.
I like to be very strict with my diet. You're going to be having 50 grams of asparagus, 150 grams of brown rice. So that's going to be 379 calories.
Damn. No wonder his body is auditing so hard.
Me and Dylan argue a lot about food. You season it?
You know how I like to cook?
You're gonna have to learn to cook with seasonings for me now that I'm here.
Yes.
He will literally boil his chicken to get the fat out. I'm like, there's no fat in chicken breast.
Ooh, you know, I don't really know how I feel about the fact that they have a lot of fights centered around food. That seems kind of stupid. Now that Pattiya's in Australia, she seems really excited about taking care of Dylan, and she's like, you're gonna let me cook for you from time to time, right? And Dylan is like, yeah, if you wanna cook for me, you just have to remember that I need 30 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and micronutrients in every meal. And Pattiya is like, no?
I want to do some of the cooking too. Would you be okay with me cooking?
Yes, but like I need 30 grams of protein,
I
100
know.
grams of carbohydrates.
Why do you always make it like a science project?
Ma'am, his body is his literal job. Also, this man bought and renovated a house just for you, okay? Google some lean meals for the man, for fuck's sake.
Sometimes the way that you eat is it's lots of sugar, lots of oil. It is a fun cheat meal for me, you know?
Cheat meal? My cookie's not that bad. You're calling.
Now, as you probably guessed, the two start fighting.
I can't just be eating whatever. If I'm trying to keep my physique in shape, you don't even measure when you put the oil in. It's
I don't use that much oil. You act like you're doing a modeling shoot every day.
I think this is one of the dumbest fights. Period. Because Dylan is like, babe, I just like to maintain my physique. And Pattiya is like, bro, you really need to get that stick out of your ass.
I'm very independent. I don't like to be told what to do. Dylan, he's a very controlled type of person. You have to lighten up and enjoy.
But what if that's how I like to live?
She is the one that said she wanted to cook a meal for him, and he is letting her know the extent of what he's comfortable eating, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Dylan, he needs to compromise with me, or it's just gonna be really hard for me and Dylan to succeed.
It's a new day, and lucky for Pattiya, Dylan's mother is on her way to visit. Dylan tells us that he talks to his mother 2 to 3 times a week, so somebody is lying because Pattiya said that he talks to her 2 to 3 times a day. And, you know, I'm kind of more inclined to believe Dylan on this one. Dylan's mom finally arrives.
I can't believe she's already in her
Yes, she's
business
my
already.
beautiful
I just
darling.
got here.
You're great.
This is, oh God.
And she brought some flowers and some sweets for Pattiya to welcome her to Tasmania. Now, Dylan's mom tells us that she has 0 problems with Pattiya, and it is only Pattiya who has a problem with her.
She's always had the problem with me. I feel that there's jealousy towards me with my relationship with Dylan. I've never had the problem with her. I just think it's a little bit off that she would want to get in between our relationship.
I guess only time is gonna tell, right? Pattiya starts talking about the furniture that she wants to buy for the house, and Dylan's mom makes a joke that he's gonna need to keep a very close eye on her and her spending habits.
Maybe a cream color L-shaped sectional here.
You might have to keep an eye on her, Dylan.
So yeah, Dylan has definitely talked to his mom about Pattiya's massive shopping addiction and the debt that she has accrued because of it. Now, Pattiya argues that she has gotten better, and his mom is just like, have you? And Dylan is also like, yeah, have you?
I've only been here less than 24 hours and she's already like, about my finances. I'm like, it's none of her business and she shouldn't be putting in her 2 cents.
And I can totally see why Pattiya thinks that they are too close, because she definitely was expecting Dylan to defend her in this moment and not take his mother's side.
I just find it, sometimes find it hard to believe. I don't want to put you on the spot right now, but...
Okay, well, just prove it to me.
Oh, yeah, prove it to me.
Yeah.
His mother finally leaves, and Pattiya sits Dylan down to tell him that he needs to stop running his mouth to his mother. And Dylan is like, girly, I had to confide in somebody, okay? You could not pay your rent, and you still went out and bought a whole bunch of shit.
I'm going to be financially supporting her now. If she wants to come here and have the champagne lifestyle, unfortunately, that's not going to work. Pattiya does have a spending problem, and it's been going on for years.
Pattiya is like, no, I swear I've changed, I promise. But apparently the whole like she couldn't pay rent but she still went on a shopping spree thing, that was a week ago. I don't know how much you can change in 7 days. Let's check in with Greta and Matt.
I know Greta is keen to move out of my parents' place, so I've arranged for us to see a rental property today.
Now that Greta is in England and probably hyperfixating on the fact that she does not want to live with Matt's parents, Matt is finally taking her to see a couple of new places for them to potentially move into.
Is it going to be in an urban area?
It's probably not as urban as you were hoping for, but we can make it work. I've asked for character, decent size.
They get to one of the houses. It is a decent-sized 3-bedroom. Matt is in love with it. Greta, not so much.
When I picture Matthew and I getting our first place together, I did not envision this 3-bedroom house. I picture us in a tiny flat, cooking vegan meals in our kitchen. If he's so concerned about our finances, why would he want to pay for space we don't even need?
Matt talks about how this one room in particular would be so great for their many kids. And Greta is just like, ooh, yikes! Because Girly has not told Matt that she does not know if she actually wants kids or not, which you would think that this is a very important thing to discuss before moving to another country for the man that you want to marry. But I'm not insane, so what the f do I know?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I would just feel really isolated here. I don't think I'm ready to settle down in a neighborhood village yet.
Greta is getting more and more upset as this conversation goes on because the two of them are clearly not on the same page. And she's interpreting that as Matt invalidating her feelings and not listening to her. Which, in my opinion, Matt is far from perfect, but you were giving him your opinion and he was giving you his opinion in return. I don't think he was being invalidating or mowing over you.
My wants and needs were kind of mowed over. It doesn't make any sense for a house to fill out for no reason right now.
I don't mind having more space rather than less space.
Let's check in with Manon and Anthony.
Ça sent bon.
C'est ça, bon.
Today, I learned that Anthony started to learn French the moment him and Manon began dating, which that is the sweetest freaking thing. So he knows a lot of French words, but he does not necessarily know how to pronounce them well.
Je prends 4 pains au chocolat et 4 mini beignets. Merci, bonne journée.
Bro, I do not know a lick of French, and even I know that pronunciation was atrocious. It is cute though, so A+ for effort.
Go play, dude. Allez, jouer.
Jouer. It's
what I said.
No, you said jouer. Jouer, it's something else.
Play.
No, jouer, it's having an orgasm.
Don't we all love jouing until we jouer? Anyway, this weekend is Baby Ben's baptism, and Manon invited her entire family. Half of them she likes, and half of them she invited out of obligation, assuming that they would politely decline. However, every single person RSVP'd yes, so Manon is pretty nervous.
No one is doing an initiative to actually meet up and have a good time. We only see each other during like funerals. Some people have beef with each other, like in each family, you know.
Now, Anthony is not a particularly religious fellow. He is, how do you say, against it? But he is on board with the baptism because he loves Manon and this is very important to her.
For the baptism, I'm for doing it for Manon, but as long as we're not practicing, I'm good. I don't believe in Catholicism and just the establishment of religion in general. I feel like a lot of people hide behind it when they do bad things.
So Ben gets baptized and the entire family heads out to dinner to celebrate. Manon starts getting pretty drunk and talking to Anthony about wanting to taste his American sausage. And in case it's not clear, yes, she's talking about his pee-pee.
I haven't had the chance to taste your own sausage for like 2 months, you know that?
Taste?
I haven't had...
been like over a year.
Manon starts to talk to her aunt and she tells her that they don't have enough money to buy a house right now, so she feels this need to have to work, but she also doesn't want to end up the way that she was in America where she had multiple jobs and never got to see her family.
Donc j'essaie de trouver un bon équilibre. Je veux travailler pour se sentir... Je ne rentre pas en Europe pour revenir à la même situation que j'avais là-bas en Amérique.
Her parents tell her that she is a winner, and Manon is like, no, absolutely not, I'm nothing but trash. And I feel really bad because Manon's default seems to be absolute pessimism. And her parents respond to her by saying, look at everything you've accomplished. You moved to the US on your own, you worked your ass off, and you got yourself to a point where you were thriving.
Remémore-toi un peu ton parcours. Regarde où tu en es. C'est pas un échec.
But Manon just does not see it this way. She feels like a failure because she left the US and everything she had built to come to France. Now, I am still confused. I do not remember if she mentioned why she had to move to France, but I mean, if it was simply to get a better work-life balance so that she could have a relationship with her son, I'm not super sure why that would make her feel like a failure.
I cannot stop remembering my life in LA and I feel like a total failure. They've never moved abroad. They don't realize how hard it is coming back to France.
Let's check in with Jonny and crazy Chloe.
I invited Kariana to come tonight. I'm excited to go out tonight.
I'm excited to have some drinks, get loose.
It should be fun.
The two are going out to relax and party with their friends. Now, Jonny apparently doesn't drink, and Chloe is apparently always one shot shy of becoming an alcoholic.
Jonathan's version of going out and my version couldn't be more different. I don't want to say I'm an avid drinker, but I mean, kind of rack up a bill.
Chloe is super excited to get her freak on until Jonny is like, oh, BT dubs, my bestie, whom you detesty, is also gonna be there.
Joy to the world.
Man, you really don't like him. I don't like it that you don't like Kaner so much.
Yeah, I don't know if I can help all that.
Now, Chloe hates Kaner because she thinks Kaner is a bad influence and, you know, just overall absolute scum of the earth.
Before I got serious with Jonathan, they went out together after work and were partying it up and taking random people home.
Now, if you didn't know, because I did not, Jonny has already cheated on Chloe in the past, and she partly blames Kaner for that because she says that he was supportive and even encouraging of his bad behavior. So they get to the bar, they meet up with Carrie, and Chloe, for some reason, is like, oh, BT dubs, we were spying on you yesterday while you were working. Sorry, not sorry.
We actually went and spied on you.
You spying on me just makes me feel like there's no trust in this relationship.
It makes me feel better.
Jonny is obviously like, I'm sorry, why? And her justification for doing this is basically, if you want me to go from not trusting you to trusting you 100%, you need to understand that that is not gonna happen overnight. Which, in my opinion, totally valid, but you are not going to build any trust by getting rid of one tracking device and replacing it with another, okay? Just FYI.
I would really, really like her to trust me enough where she wouldn't have to worry about where I am and what I'm doing.
You're viewing it as malicious, we're viewing it as helpful.
It's really not helpful in any way. Jonny then asks Carrie if she spies on her boyfriend while he's working, and he definitely thinks that she's gonna say no, but Carrie very proudly is like, yes.
Why are you women crazy like that?
Because you make us crazy. You guys make us crazy.
Kaner arrives and shit almost immediately hits the fan. Chloe is like, Kaner, don't be problematic. And Kaner is like, Chloe, don't be problematic. And then Chloe tells Kaner that she is not his biggest fan because she does not like Jonny being friends with a guy who puts him in situations where he will be tempted to cheat.
You can't control me like that. You
My trust issues come from your actions.
can't do that kind of.
Respect me. Respect what I say.
Chloe is like, if you want me to trust you, then do things to make me trust you. And Jonny is like, girly, you live in my house, I've given you my schedule, my location, access to my cameras, like, I really don't know what more I can do. And Kaner is like, the fact that he invited you to live here with him, like, that should mean something to you because that is him making a huge risk. And Chloe is like, I'm sorry, did he give up his job, his life, his friends, and his family? No, so shut the f up. And Kaner does because he honestly can't argue with that.
I risk my entire future going out the window. He doesn't risk that. If anything.
Now, I really don't think that this is as big of a risk as she is making it out to be. First of all, did she quit her job? Yes, but her mother was and is continuing to finance her life. Second, if things don't end up working out with Jonny, her life literally goes back to how it was before, because before she lived with her mother and her mother was her boss.
If I'm controlling you to not cheat on me, then you should go be single.
So, yeah, that was a lot. You know, Pattiya's definitely the problem. I'm sure Dylan has his faults, as does his mother, but I feel like 90% of the issues in their relationship are instigated just by Pattiya. Chloe and Jonny, absolute train wreck. Jonny is a bitch because he cheated, but Chloe is insane, okay? Girly could just be single and just not be doing any of this nonsense. That is all I have for you today, Panda Pals. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments what you thought of this one. I will see you in the next one. Bye!